morning, racing fans. Here we are in beautiful South Florida on the Loxahatchee River with Mr. Captain Peter Yellow. We are now visiting Trapper John's. Am I right, Pete?
I think it's Nelson.
Oh, Nelson.
But you were close. We're actually in his house. So this is a new panorama.
Yeah, panorama.
Alligator jaws.
Furs. Wow. Mr. Aiello and I are taking a tour of the river. It's been absolutely fantastic. If anybody could do this, it's well worth it.
Jonathan Dickinson State Park.
Yes, and West Palm, right?
No, it's actually in Hobe Sound, so it's just north of Jupiter.
Okay.
$6 to get in. You can rent canoes, you can rent bikes, you can rent kayaks, or if you're less physically inclined like the two of us, you can rent a small motor skiff. And we're actually going to try something this time. I'm not going to, we're going to record from multiple spots. I'm going to hit pause, and so they can see our trim little craft.
But so far we've seen gator, we've seen birds, turtles, and it's just a great experience. Highly recommend it. And of course, I'm with the tour guide of South Florida.
You haven't driven the boat.
No, that's all right. I'd rather.
We got to drive an hour back the way we came.
All right. You're going to have to make sure.
All right. We did. Now, for those who may think you're exaggerating or you're just brushing by, not only did we see a gator, we saw one, at least for my liking, a little too close for comfort. Not necessarily because I'm scared of gators, but where we were, the river had shallowed a bit.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a whole lot of room to maneuver, and this was a big individual that we saw.
I was going to say he was of the Laget family. Laget. But again, the river is worth the trip. It's like you say, the African Queen.
Or you said Lewis and Clark, or
Lewis and Clark.
Yeah.
Now this guy's name was Nelson.
Nelson, yeah.
And he actually did all this.
Yeah, it's amazing. We'll come show you from. I'll pause and we'll start over in a second. But
the gator.
Yep, that was probably about the size of the one we saw, and that's not an exaggeration.
He was really
because
good.
You saw him before I did. If I had seen him, I'd have thrown the boat in reverse. But
it's a different from unusual racetrack encounters.
Indeed. Now, I do want to segue into one thing, though. If we walk over here, we can see he's got his cookware here with a nice coffee pot. And that segues into a story that I think all of your friends and family and viewers would love to hear. We know that you were turned on to tea by me, but now you've ventured into a much deeper and more interesting realm. You're making your own coffee now? Why don't you tell everyone about that?
You know me with adventure. I am now venturing into the whole coffee bean world. I belong to what they call the coffee cult. And I am enjoying the heck out of it. I bought a grinder.
Now you already have, for those who may not be familiar, you already have a pretty fancy French press cappuccino, espresso, deluxe drip coffee maker. You've had that for years, right?
But I'm expanding.
Yes, you never ground your own beans before, though.
And I had my first cup of my own ground beans. It was awesome.
You know, I was just thinking about this. It's amazing I didn't think of this sooner. You know what this means?
Huh?
You talk about expanding. This is opening a whole nother business idea for me.
Oh, God, now what?
Well, we're going to make coffee mugs. Now we got Honest Art Coffee to sell in the coffee mugs. It's a package deal. I wonder if we can get Gulfstream to let us open Honest Art's coffee stand.
Now,
That would be something.
I want the fans to know that Mr. Aiello is heading out tomorrow with his dad.
I'll be gone by the time this posts. This will
Yeah.
be posted by. I'll be in Memphis
You're
by
heading
then.
up to Tennessee.
Memphis, yeah.
And you have a great time up there. I'll be seeing you, I hope, real soon. Shall we live?
Yeah, we'll pause this chapter and start over.
All right.
We've never done this before, but my phone does have the technology.
All
So
right.
don't sign off. We'll be right back, right after this. And we're back. Wow. For those who may be interested as to where we are, this is the homestead of the wild man of the Loxahatchee. Try to... We've already seen the animal cages that he had animals all over the place. You really can't do justice just to how far in BFE we are. We traveled up the river an hour, and where we were when we started, other than the fact that it's a state park, there was not really much available to you. So that was pretty amazing.
Wow. A continuation of our safari. We are now boarding the USS Aiello, and for our trip back down the Loxahatchee.
Yeah.
And may the boating be with you until we see you again.
Well, wait a minute. We can show him the boat,
All right.
and I'll try to come to him live without crashing the boat.
Be careful.
Watch our step here. This is a whole new Sunday sermon. This is an immersive experience here.
Well, look out.
Yeah, water is very, very, very clear. Which, when you see a gator, doesn't make you feel any better because you don't know how much water you have to work with. But here's our craft.
We are now entering the USS Aiello. I'm putting my cushion down.
Yeah, but you don't have to wear the life raft. You just have to have it on board.
Great time visiting Trapper Nelson.
Trapper Nelson. We'll come to you from the banks of the Loxahatchee River here in a moment.
Well, we're going to have to really, when we get back to our normal haunt, we will have to tell the people all about this in more detail. I mean,
well, we're helping. They're experiencing it with us. It's an interactive, immersive experience here.
Could you do this?
What do you mean? No.
I mean, on a hot summer's night here. I mean, no, I don't think so.
I don't think so. The mosquitoes alone would be enough to
Mosquitoes,
literally drive you crazy.
Whatever else is in here, you know. But it's a good thing, you know. I take the casino, the air-conditioned casino. You know, it's not that it's. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're talking about to live, not just to visit. We're just here for a little touristy visit.
Yeah. I mean,
this guy lived here.
That's hard to believe. And he actually, well, I mean, did he do the spring thing with the water?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We should have showed him that. They had an old school well.
You know, that's a whole nother ball.
And by the way, for those still interested in this history lesson, this homestead was built in the 30s, so we're not talking about 200 to 150 years ago. This is 1930s that this was built. So,
I mean, and people used to come from Palm Beach, according to the pamphlet, from the breakers.
Oh, you mean to come to a zoo? You mean? I wonder how they got here.
Yeah, they bring their own cooks, and they had a feast out here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You read more about it. Wow, you read more about it than me.
So, I again, this is honest not the poor man's friend. I don't know if honest not could, get into this.
No, you'd have to have some place to put your coffee.
Yeah, I gotta have my.
Well, now continuing on that topic, since it's very interesting to me, what kind of research have you done on the quality of coffee beans globally? You did some global research, and you're looking to import some coffee beans.
The first thing is I think I'm on the right track. Second thing is freshly roasted. When you buy it in the store, it's not like it came out of the roaster.
So you went to, just so I understand, you went to a local coffee roaster.
It's called Coffee Cult.
And you bought
I
beans.
bought what they call Coffee Cult Dark Roast. Out of this world.
You went home, you ground the beans yourself,
and
and then put them in your French press to make the coffee.
I made it in the French. I want to tell you, I haven't drank 2 cups of coffee in over 10 years, probably. Never. I had 2 yesterday because it's very, very good. Very good. Are you a coffee man?
No, but I'm just loving the fact that we're going to make coffee mugs, and now we have coffee to put in the coffee mugs. People are going to think we're making this up, but I promise we're not.
But yeah, but this is another adventure, a part of the journey.
Well, we'll get the old boat cranked up here, and we'll say goodbye from the.
I will say goodbye.
No, don't say goodbye yet. We'll go from the river so they can. You can give them a guided tour of what they're looking at.
But yeah.
More with AGP right after this.
All right.